Alright guys, so today I drove about 3 hours away from home all the way up to Watertown, New York. I am meeting Lance and April Micek today of the High Hopes pulling team and ask them some questions and check out the first fat pulling tractor in the United States. Alright, let's go.
Back in the days we wanted everything,
I'm here today with Lance Micek of Watertown, New York. Lance, how does it feel to have the only Fendt tractor on this side of the Atlantic?
Well, it was the goal that we're going after, so it feels pretty good to have something that's different, to to give some variety here in the States.
Now I see that you got a chance to make a run at Louisville. How does that feel?
Well, it hasn't really sank in yet, but hoping that it'll all go good, Lord willing, and that the engine will perform the way that it's supposed to, and hopefully it'll be a complete success. But I've never even been to Louisville to even watch, so to actually be picked to be a competitor is a pretty big deal. So I'm kind of excited for it.
Now I see behind you, and everybody's seen the little teasers, the High Hopes name. How did that one come about?
So the whole thing started, my wife had done a video, a pulling video she does each year for the season of pulling. And she actually used the song that's High Hopes. It's Panic at the Disco is the one that sings the song. That's where the name came from. Had no intentions of naming the tractor that at the start, but ended up as we decided to build a tractor, we wanted to change the name. I wanted to change the name. I wanted to change the name just because we're hoping that with this new machine that it'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Nice. I see the image behind you. Yep. With a little kid on a pedal tractor, yep, and the tractor in the back. How did you find that? What made you think of that?
Well, what ended up being is when we were trying to come up, once we had the name of the tractor, trying to come up with an image, tried to, what would be something regarding High Hopes. Tried to do had images of like the space shuttle taking off or somebody looking up at a mountain range or something like that, and none of those seemed to be working. And long story short, I ended up looking at a girl that a little girl. I searched "Dreaming Big" is what it was, and the girl was riding a little rocking horse, and the image behind her was a big racehorse. So that's where the idea came from, and I figured that, of course, it's not going to be a horse, so we actually did a pedal tractor, and the image behind it is actually this tractor when we had mounted the hood and the fenders on it. The image that's here is friends of ours. It's their son on his little John Deere pedal tractor, and the image behind him is actually this tractor. So that's where it all came from, and what the reasoning behind it was.
Nice. Now, how long have you been in pulling for?
Farm stock, I think farm stock we started in '03. We pulled like a hot farm or farm stock tractor. Did that for a couple years and then decided to build an alcohol tractor, and we purchased Mark Hayes' Supernatural chassis I think that was '05, and it took us about 4 years to build the motor for the tractor. It was a 2-charger iron head alcohol motor that Rich and Jordan Lustig helped us build it, and that's when we came out in '09. So we've just completed, in 19 we had completed 10 years with that tractor, pulling on the state level, and then at the end of 19 is when we decided to tear the tractor down and start over.
Nice. Now, what has been the biggest accomplishment of your career so far?
That's a good one. I would say that keeping the biggest accomplishment. Oh my goodness. I would say keeping going in it, not giving up, having the support of my wife and our little puppy, of course, and just continuing forward, not giving up. I don't know of any one thing. I mean, we've won our hometown pull, which is a pretty big deal, and getting invited to Louisville and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing is that God has allowed us to keep doing this and to keep pushing forward. We have our health to keep doing it. So I would say that's the biggest accomplishment, is that we're still going strong here after 10 years of pulling. And of course we were off for COVID, but we had our first successful year with the new tractor. And I would just say that we're still able to do this. That's the biggest accomplishment.
All right. Now, what are you hoping for the future?
Well, I would love for this machine, as I said, to be very competitive on the state level and go to some Grand National pulls. But for years and years and years, we've sat in the stands and we've watched pullers, and to be a competitor now with these people that have been doing it for years. The goal would be to actually be competitive with them and to be a very strong competitor on the state and or Grand National level. So that would be the goal.
All right. Now, with last season being your first season with this brand new tractor, are there any improvements you feel that you would change after last season?
Not at this point. We're still in the learning phase. Just trying to figure out what this machine likes, what it doesn't like, setting up weights, just learning, how to handle the horsepower, how to drive it differently, and just make wise choices with it. So not really any huge improvements at this point. It's just still trying to become affiliated with the machine and learn what it likes and what it doesn't like.
All right. Do you mind if you open the hood up?
Sure.
Now, you said that the Lustigs built your old engine and this engine. How did you meet them?
Back in '05, when we bought our chassis from Mark Hayes, the old Supernatural, had no idea what to do or even how to go about an engine. And we were always watching on either, I think it was like Speed Vision or ESPN2. We saw the Lustig family at these events. So ended up finding a number to their shop and trying to call them. And then of course one day when somebody answered the phone, I did a lot of stuttering, of course. But for whatever reasons, Rich and Jordan decided that they wanted to help us. And we've had a great friendship since then, and that started in '05. And just coming up through the years, just continued that relationship. And when we got ready for this point, I contacted them and about doing a new engine. And that's how we've just been plugged in over the years.
That's amazing. That's a pretty good friendship right there.
For sure.
Now, what got you into the whole sport of tractor and truck pulling?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, as we were talking earlier, going to the local fair was a very big deal, and always enjoyed tractor pulling as a kid. You know, growing up on a farm, of course, and it was just always a very big deal. And I always used to think that, you know, walking through the pits at the Lewis County Fair, if you brushed your arm on a tire of one of these tractors, was such a big deal. And just always had a love for the sport. And then when I met my wife, when we were dating, we actually decided to go to a tractor pull, and she absolutely loved it. It was her first time going, and shortly thereafter, once we just both seemed to share a real, I of course had a liking for the sport since I was just a kid. My wife really enjoyed it, so that's when we decided to build the farm stock tractor. And of course, we ran that a couple years. It was very exciting, and we decided it was time to step up the game and go to a much larger level. And that's how we've actually, you know, we transitioned from farm stock and into a super.
Nice. So essentially, the image on your tractor is pretty much you going from a little kid wanting to dream and dreaming big into tractor pulling to finally making it. And I see you got a little ghost statement right there.
Yep.
In the paint. God gives high hopes.
That's right. No, it's by the grace of God that we're able to do this, and without Him, you know, none of this would be possible. And I'm just so blessed and so thankful that you know, that we're able to do this, we're able to afford it, that we have our health, and you know, this is, for us, this is an experience of a lifetime. And so I definitely say thank you to God for allowing us to do this with our family. And it's just a awesome time, and I love the Pulling family that we have, the family that we have throughout the summer of fellow tractor pullers.
That's pretty cool. This is an amazing tractor, and I wish you guys a lot of luck down in Louisville, and I hope you guys get the chance to pull at the Tractor Pullers Championship, and I hope you guys have a very well season this upcoming season. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it, and I know my followers will appreciate it as well. Thank you, Lance.
Thank you.
I just got home from Lance and April's. I gotta say, if you ever see their tractor at a pull, don't be afraid to stop over, check it out, talk to them. They're probably the most humble and amazing people I've ever met in the pulling world. You know, they give you the true feeling of what a puller should be. You know, out there for the fans, not for making any money or anything like that. They're there to put on a show, and I gotta say, they got something worth putting on a show with. To be the only event in the United States, let alone the North America, it is amazing. To see it up close the way I got to today, you gotta take a look. But if you liked the video today, please hit subscribe. If you want to see more, you know, I'm planning on making a bunch more. Find them on Facebook, follow them, like them. They got something truly amazing, and like I said, don't be afraid to talk to them. All right, good night.